Hi, guitar enthusiasts. Lauren here. Happy New Year. So nice to see you guys. I figured in lieu of my normal posting, I usually post something on Wednesdays. I wanted to go live with you guys because I have some exciting things coming up that I wanted to share with you. I see all your stuff over there in the chat. We have a retired Marine. I deeply appreciate this gesture. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. So part of today, I guess one of the big announcements while we get things going, and I'll make this announcement cold as Michigan here. It's probably really cold in Michigan. So I'll make this announcement throughout depending on when people pop in. But we are doing a little giveaway on my website. I want to thank Zager Guitars who sent out, I'm going to turn my phone off so it starts blinking. I thought I already did that. I don't know how it turned back on. Okay, so we have Zager Guitars who gave us a few guitars. We have 5 of them. We actually have 5 guitars to give away, and we're giving them away to veterans in need. In their acoustic guitars, they are set up for righty, so right-handed acoustic guitars. They are the easy play Zager Guitars. Really appreciate them doing that, and we're giving them away, like I said, to veterans in need. So if you're a veteran in need, or you know someone who is a veteran that wants to learn guitar, maybe on a limited income, on disability or something, we want to help them out. So we're going to ship them a guitar. It has to be here in the United States. I'm going to pay for the shipping. So I'm going to pay it to ship it anywhere within the United States. And they will also get access to the 7-level guitar system, my guitar course. So not only are they going to get the guitar, they're going to get the tools they need, the system they need to go from being an absolute beginner to learning how to play the guitar in their favorite songs. So if you want to recommend someone, it's laurenbateman.com/giveaway. laurenbateman.com/giveaway. Fill out that form and we'll take a look at them. We're going to be keeping this open probably for the next few days, depending on how many, submission forms we get. I also want people to pop on and see the live. So once again, it's laurenbateman.com/giveaway. If someone wouldn't mind typing that into the chat for everyone, that would be fantastic. But laurenbateman.com/giveaway on the website. You can fill out that form and we'll be giving away some guitars for the new year to our veterans out there in need. Thank you. If you are a veteran, thank you for serving. Really appreciate everything you guys do. I support our troops big time. We have a lot of veterans in the course currently. There was a post the other day. Someone was asking who else was a veteran was, and it was just like loads and loads of answers. People from Vietnam, even more recent as well. So thank you all for your service. I really appreciate it. That's why I got wore my Captain America shirt here today. Oh, Jack Waters, thank you so much for the super chat donation. Really appreciate it. We'll use that. If you do super chat donations, we'll use those to pay for the shipping on the guitars. But I was going to pay for the shipping anyway. But thank you so much. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk about New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, and hopefully this will be helpful, even if you've been playing the guitar for a while. But I know a lot of people, they make New Year's resolutions. They want to learn how to play the guitar, and they learn very quickly that it's not easy, okay? So anyone who tells you learning the guitar is easy, be a little cautious. There are easier ways to go about learning guitar. But I've been playing for over 20 years. I'm still learning. And, my students, they see I go, we have a private Facebook community, and I go in there live and I show them videos of me practicing, and I make mistakes all the time because I want you guys to know that even though I've been playing for so long, I am not perfect. Okay. I am not perfect. And a big thing of my guitar teaching is that it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as we're having fun and we're improving and getting better, that's the goal. And that's the whole goal of this channel, is just making the guitar make sense for you so that you can have fun with it. And down the road, if you want to get into all that crazy theory stuff, I have courses on music theory, so you're more than welcome to do that. But we keep it simple in the beginner program. So the first thing I want to tell you about, I wrote down looks like 5 or 6 tips here that we're going to go through. The first one I want to talk about is being realistic. Okay. So this is not an overnight thing. I don't want you to be in a rush to get to the destination because it takes years. Okay. Like I said, I've been playing guitar for 20 years. So if I make it look easy, well, I've been doing it for a long time. Okay. So I want you to know in the beginning, your strings, they're going to sound muted. The chords are going to be slow. The chord changes are going to be slow. And in the course, if you're in my course, I give you easier versions of the chords to start with. And your timing's going to be off. Rhythm's going to be horrible. And some of these things will be better than for others because we're all starting at a different point in our guitar journey. Okay. Some of you are coming to me and you've never touched a guitar before. And some of you are coming to me and maybe you've been playing for 2, 3, or 4 or 5 years and you're looking to get some more advice and take things to the next level. I personally, I played guitar on my own for 10 years. Okay, I was mostly self-taught. I don't have a degree in music for those of you who don't know me that well. I don't have a degree in music. My degrees are actually in biology and archaeology. I used to work in a cancer research lab, and but music was my passion. And so I quit my job to do music, and now I'm here helping you guys. So hopefully I made the right decision, and hopefully you guys over there think I made the right decision as well. So don't think this is going to be an overnight thing. Okay. Be realistic that it's going to take time and you're not going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. You're not going to be Eric Clapton. You're not going to be Jimi Hendrix in a year from now. Okay. The goal is every single week, every single month that passes, you're just trying to get 1% better than you were before. Okay. If you get 1% better every week, then a year from now, that's going to be leaps and bounds better than where you started. So be realistic. I know that's going to be hard for you perfectionists out there. I fortunately don't suffer from perfectionism. If you're one of my students, you know that just from my typing alone. But I am not a perfectionist and you shouldn't be either. Okay. Because to this day, I'm still not perfect. All right. And if you can get to like 95% accuracy over the years, that's pretty good. But everyone still makes mistakes. I've been live at concerts and seen people make mistakes that are professional. So it happens. So the other thing I want to say is don't learn too much at once. This is what happens with a lot of beginners, particularly when you're on YouTube, because the great thing about YouTube is there's a lot of information. Even me, I've probably got hundreds of videos at this point, different song lessons. And that's the great thing about YouTube is there is a lot of information out there, but sometimes you don't know if that information is the right information for you for where you're at. So I always tell students, keep things simple in the beginning. That's why I teach my students in the 7-level system. We learn 4 chords to start with. Well, it's really like 5. There's an extra little bonus chord in there. But we learn 4 chords to start with. Why? Because part of learning guitar is about muscle memory, being able to close your eyes and switch the chords on your guitar without even having to look at them. I can do this with my eyes closed. I can even do it in the air. I can make a C chord, a G chord, a D chord. I have the muscle memory in my fingers. And what happens for a lot of students is they go watch, a video on, beginner guitar chords and there's like 10 or 12 or 20. There's a bunch of different chords in the lesson. And what happens is you're spreading that learning out over 20 chords. I always tell people it's easier to remember a password that's 4 digits long versus remember a password that's 12 digits long. So the same thing applies to guitar. It's going to be easier for you to remember and build muscle memory if you're practicing the same 4 chords over and over than if you're trying to do all 20 of them at once. And there's more than 20 chords. There's hundreds, thousands of chords. But we start with 4, and I show you how to use a capo to do a lot with those chords. We can play thousands of songs with just 4 chords. And the 4 that we start with, C, E minor, G, and D. Okay, so if you've seen some of my videos, I love C, E minor, G, and D because you can do so much with those chords. Okay, I actually did a video recently, 15 songs you can play with those 4 chords using a very, very simple strumming pattern. So you can go search that afterwards. Just put Lauren Bateman, 4 chords, 15 songs. I'm sure that will pop up. Oh, Noelle, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Noelle, for your donation. That's going to go right towards shipping out the guitars to our veterans. And if you're just popping on a little bit late into this programming, I mentioned before, laurenbateman.com/giveaway. We're giving away 5 Zager easy play guitars to veterans in need that want to learn guitar. They'll also be getting a free copy of my guitar course. We want them to have the instrument and the tools necessary to learn guitar. So if you're a veteran, or if you know someone that is a veteran that has always wanted to learn guitar, if that's their dream, that's part of my mission. My mission is, I help people, get the music out of them before we leave this earth. I don't want anyone to die with the music still inside them. So we want to help people. And that's what this channel is all about, helping people learn to play guitar and have fun with it. So thank you, Noelle. I really appreciate that. So let's talk about the next thing, which is speed versus clarity. This is related to chords. Talk about this all the time. And what you want, if you do not have a metronome, you can download one on your app. I use Metronome Beats. So you can download an app and use a metronome, or there's I think online metronome.com or something. You can find one online. But the reason we use a metronome is because it forces you to go off of something else's timing. And yes, using a metronome can be very robotic. That's why in the course I have play-alongs with me, because sometimes it's easier to play along with me in my timing versus a metronome. But what the metronome does is it's your scorecard. So it's telling you, are you doing better from week to week? Because one of the biggest reasons that people give up guitar is, one, they realize it's actually much harder than they thought to learn. So that's one thing. But another thing is they have no way of knowing if they're getting better or not. How do I know if I'm getting better? I'm still playing my G, C, and D chords, and they still sound like crap. I feel like, okay, I've been doing this for 3 months, and my chords still sound like crap. That's totally normal. No rush. There is no rush. If they still sound like crap after 3 months, guess what? You're normal. Don't worry about it. So what we do with the metronome is we put the metronome on, and it's got a click. And you basically pick 2 chords, C and G. I'm just going to use those 2, and you're going to go back and forth. Okay, and the whole goal is to speed up the metronome. And a lot of people, they email me, because I get emails from students, and they're like, I'm stuck. I can't get past 60 beats per minute. What do I do? Well, what you do when you're stuck like that is you bump the metronome up to 70 beats per minute. Okay, 70 beats per minute. And you try and do it as fast as you can. I don't care if it sounds like this. As long as the fingers are getting on the right strings, that's key. Okay, because a lot of people, again, this is going to be hard for the perfectionists out there. You always want it to sound nice. And when you're working on speed, you have to sacrifice clarity. So you have to sacrifice the niceness of the chords to get faster. And then you go really slow to make things sound nice. This way you play each string. Oh, I have a muted string. Okay, I'm going to fix that bottom finger. Okay, so when you want to get clean sounding chords, you go slow. This way you can assess the issues, what fingers might be muting the strings. And then when you want to go fast, you have to sacrifice some of the clarity. It will sound like crap. If you're doing chord changes and you're trying to build speed and it sounds nice, you're not going fast enough. Okay. So that's the key. That's the key to that. So make sure that you are pushing yourself to go faster. Oh, I believe it's worth the money. What kind do you recommend for a beginner? Are you talking about a metronome, Christopher? Hopefully, because I was just talking about metronomes. I just caught your question there real quick. Metronome, I use Metronome Beats. Korg, if you go on Amazon, I always used Korg when I was at my private studio before they had apps. So that's what I would use at home. Let's see. Next one we've got, keep a journal. So this is very important, especially if you're keeping track of your metronome times. You need to know price of a guitar. Okay, I'll answer that after I answer this question here or finish this section on the journal. So keep your journal and write down your speeds, okay? Because you need to know. You're not going to remember, okay? Write down, because you want to see 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you're going to open that journal and you're going to go, wow, 3 months ago, I was at 20 beats per minute, and today I'm at 80. And that's going to make you happy because you're going to see you made progress. Also in your journal, you should write how you feel. Even if you hate the G chord, just write down, today I'm not the greatest at the G chord, but I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. And try and keep it positive. Write those successes down, because your words are very powerful. So if you're like, I suck at the guitar, you know what? You're telling yourself you suck at the guitar. And that's not true. You're just learning. All right. We all, in the beginning, even me, stunk at the guitar. I'm not a prodigy. Okay. I wasn't naturally talented. I'm the only one in my family that plays a musical instrument. So I don't have the music gene. Okay. Like a lot of you. Okay. I don't have the music gene. I didn't go to school for music. But I just love music and I wanted to have fun with it. So tell yourself positive things. Okay. Man, I hate learning guitar. No, I love learning guitar. I might not be good at it today, but I'm going to be better at it in a couple weeks or 3 months from now. I'm just going to keep getting better. So those negative things that negative talk, it's going to sabotage your progress and it's going to sabotage you mentally because you're just going to keep saying these negative things. You're going to be like, I'm dumb. I can't do this. No, you are not. No, you are not. You are learning and you're going to get there. So don't sabotage yourself with that negative talk. Keep it positive. Okay. Today, I'm just going to try and get my G chord clean. Okay. That's all I'm going to do today. I'm going to try and get my G chord clean. And if you do, you're going to reward yourself and have a lot of fun and celebrate that success. Every little success is a celebration on guitar. And that's what keeps you motivated. So Chris, on a beginner guitar, particularly acoustic, I recommend not going below the $299 level. This guitar, so this is a Crafter. Everyone asks me what my guitar is. So this is a Crafter Twin Birds 32nd anniversary. I feel like this guitar is about 12 years old. Thank you, Caesar. Thank you, Paul. You guys are awesome making some donations here. Really appreciate it. That's going to go to shipping out our guitars to our veterans. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. You're all awesome. I love you all. Sorry, I'm getting so excited with the money and stuff over there. So beginner guitar, $299 for an acoustic. Why? Because they're just better quality. They're better made. Okay. If you can afford a $500, like the $499 price and up, you will even get a better guitar. This Crafter, I feel like this might have been like a $1,500 guitar when I purchased it. And I bought it from a friend's store, so he gave me a discount. But I think retail, this was about $1,500, this guitar. And it plays very nicely because the strings are very close to the fretboard. And, so that's would be my recommendation. For electric, you can get away a little bit cheaper on an electric. Again, if you can go to that $300 to $500 range, that's great because you will get a better quality. You'll get better quality electronics and other stuff like that. But with acoustic guitars, if you go and get like $100 guitar, they're just made of like cheap particle wood. We call them boat oars. A friend of mine who is a guitar teacher, we used to call them boat oars because basically all they're good for doing is rowing your boat. Okay, they're very, very hard to play. So I would recommend the $300 to $500 range is a sweet spot. And, if you can go above that, even better. Okay, fix my guitar strap. So that answers that one for you, Chris. Hopefully that helped. Let's see. I did that motivation, record yourself. Record yourself. This is a powerful tool. And you don't have to share these recordings with anyone. But again, like I said with guitar, the hardest part is motivating yourself to keep practicing and keep going, even when it gets hard, okay? Because there's going to be points, and I had those points too, where you're just like, you want to throw this thing on the ground and you want to put it back in the closet or throw it down in the garage or in the basement. And we need to remember where we started. So I tell students as much as possible, I tell them in level 1 of my course, which is where the starting point, the first song we learned is Horse with No Name. And I say, record yourself playing this song. If you want to share it with the group, the private Facebook group, awesome. Share it with the group. If you don't, then you don't have to, but keep it for yourself because when you get to level 2 and level 3, usually level 3 is the frustrating level for a lot of people because we get into the full C, G, and D chords and we get into some more intricate strumming in level 3. You should go back and watch your Horse with No Name video because you're going to realize how, bad you were in the beginning and how much progress you've made. And that's motivating. So I tell people usually, every month, if you can, make it a goal. The first week of the month, you're going to record a video of yourself playing the same song. And you can do a different song if you want to, but I recommend doing the same song. So if you got month 1 and you're playing Horse with No Name and it sounds like this, you know, it sounds like that. And then you go to month 2, but it sounds kind of like this now. You know, and then you get to month 3 and you're like, it's like, oh, I can hear the progress and I'm much better today than I was 3 months ago. That's super important. Super important. Some more donations came in. Patricia, I wish, is it Thiha? Thank you guys so much on the super chat donations. Really appreciate you guys are awesome. So these donations are going to be put towards mailing out the guitars to our veterans. We are doing a giveaway this week. I will keep it probably open through the weekend to get as many nominations as possible. And we're giving away laurenbateman.com/giveaway. We have five Zager easy play guitars that we're going to ship out. Zager has been kind enough that one of my students reached out. We reached out for a student of ours who was a retired veteran that was going blind. His name is Al. He actually lives here in Massachusetts, surprisingly. And we got a guitar for Al. But not only did Zager send us one guitar for Al, they sent us 5 other guitars to give out to veterans in need. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jack. Nancy, hopefully Nancy J. Hopefully I said that right. But we're going to be sending these guitars out to veterans in need that want to play guitar. So if you are a veteran in need, or you know someone that's a veteran that has always wanted to play guitar, they are 5 right-handed guitars. Okay, just want to specify that they're right-handed guitars. And we will be shipping these in the United States. So we have 5 of those guitars. laurenbateman.com/giveaway, laurenbateman.com/giveaway. And we will be giving away 5 guitars to veterans in need this month. So I want to thank Zager Guitars for that. Dennis has been absolutely amazing. I emailed him and he emailed me right back. I'm really impressed with the customer service of this company. I mean, the fact that that was just amazing that he did these guitars for our veterans. So I'm so excited to support a company that supports our veterans like that. No questions asked. They were super nice and did more than we expected. So I think you're going to see me probably playing a Zager guitar soon. We'll see. Thanks, Kyle. Thank you, Jay. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it. Speaking of horse, I'm having some trouble getting the swing rhythm in that song. Any suggestions? Great. So that is a swing pattern. Usually when I teach beginners, I teach them to do a straight pattern, which would be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So a swing pattern is a triplet feel. Okay, what is a triplet? So we have quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a triplet is for every one of those beats, there's 3 notes. Okay, so if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. And that's usually how you would count them. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Okay, so because you get the 3s. So that's what it is. And what we're doing, and it's hard to see because I don't have my diagrams up here, we are skipping the middle triplet. So it's 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2. It's like a shuffle, like a blues. Okay, so it's kind of like a blues. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a. So that's why it's a little tricky timing wise. So you might want to just do all downs and do 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. So you just have to go very slow with it, and then you can speed it up. So hopefully that answers your question. Lastly, I want to say have a good practice schedule. Well, there's 2 things I want to say left that I have on my list, but this one is have a good practice schedule. Chords, strumming, and dexterity. That's what we work on at the beginner level in my 7-level guitar course. All right, is dexterity, chords, and strumming. Okay, because if you can do that, so dexterity is something like a spider exercise. Or other picking exercises, how to do arpeggios on chords and stuff. all hand dexterity because we have to work on the right hand. That was my right hand and the left hand, or if you're lefty, your left hand and your right hand. And so there's lots of different exercises to work on finger dexterity in the course, because if you can get the hands moving, the faster you can get the hands moving, the faster you can change between chords. All right, eventually, if you want to do, scale stuff, the faster your hands are moving, the more you can do with them. Okay, that's the dexterity part. Richard, thank you so much, Richard, for your donation. Richard De Silva from New Hampshire. I know Richard. I've met Richard in person. He came to one of the grand openings for my school. Thank you, Richard. So nice to see you here. So, and then we focus on chords, because obviously every song has chords, right? So you need that. And then the strumming, the rhythm, the timing. So if you can get all three of those things together, it opens up a world of the guitar for you. Because once you go through the 7-level system, you can then go on to play lead guitar. You can go to learn music theory, finger picking. We get into power chords and bar chords. You can do intermediate type strumming, like percussive rhythms. So you can do all kinds of cool things, but you have to have a good foundation on the guitar. And that's where the 7-level guitar system comes in. For any of you guys who are looking for more of a step-by-step approach, Lauren Bateman, guitar.com/course. LaurenBatemanGuitar.com/course has all the information on the 7-level system. And it really gives you the step-by-step. A lot of students are like, that's why we like this course so much, is because it's very methodical. I think that's because of my science background. We're very, very methodical in this. And every level has a reason, a purpose. But once you get to the end of that, level 6, 7, you can start branching out and doing whatever you want. You want to do blues, you can do blues. And I'm working on a blues course. For those of you guys who don't know, I had so many requests. And, I got really busy last year, but my focus is to record an entire blues course for you guys, because I know you've been asking for it. So we're going to do it this year in 2022. I do promise you guys that we will have a full blues course as well that you guys can, graduate to after you do the 7-level program. So again, I just want to mention our giveaway today. We have 5 Zager guitars, easy play Zager guitars that we're giving away. LaurenBateman.com/giveaway. You can go nominate a veteran in need that maybe can't afford to get their own guitar. Maybe they're on a limited budget. And not only that, we will be giving them a copy of the 7-level course. Okay. So they're going to get the guitar, which is the instrument, and they're going to get the skills they need to actually play the guitar. And I'll have to talk to Brian, who's going to be shipping out the guitars for me. I was going to be paying for the shipping for all the guitars, but you guys keep throwing in donations in the super chat, so we're probably going to use your donations over here to ship out those guitars. We have 5 of them. We're going to be sending them to anywhere in the United States. So we will be paying to ship those out. So it's going to be no cost to them. So they're going to get a free guitar course. We hope to make them happy this new year and thank them for their service. I have a lot of veterans in the course currently who've reached out to me and said, Lauren, this has changed my life. This has helped me. I have a lot that have PTSD. And music is such a healing process. That's honestly why I got into the guitar. A little bit about my backstory and really what intrigued me about music, and I think why I liked it so much growing up. So I grew up in a very strict Italian family. So I don't know if you guys know what that's like, but you don't really have too many opinions, or you're not really allowed to have an opinion. Mom and dad say jump and you say how high. Okay, there was no, my wife, she grew up and she was allowed to ask questions. We didn't ask questions in my family. Okay. Your parents told you to do something and you did it. So I didn't really have much of a voice growing up, or didn't feel like I could have a voice growing up. So I turned to the guitar and I turned to music and songwriting. And that's how I was able to get a lot of my emotions out and a lot of my feelings. And it was a healing instrument for me. So I understand that process. And I've written, 3 albums worth of material. You guys can go, it's on iTunes. I think all 3 of them are on iTunes if you want to go get that. Jack Waters, thank you again. Julie Owens, Jim Johnson, thank you guys so much for your super chats. And there's even a little bird dancing that says, "You are amazing, Jack." I don't know how you put that in there, but that's awesome. So, music is so helpful for everyone. And, I didn't serve in the military. My wife's father is actually a Marine. So he was in the military, but no one in my family was. My dad was drafted, but I think the Vietnam War ended before he had to go over. So he didn't serve. My grandfather didn't serve in World War II because he was flat-footed. I guess we're not a really good military family. So I feel I want to support our troops. We always support our troops. My dad is huge on supporting troops, and I think that's where my devotion comes from is from him. I remember growing up, whenever someone would walk in, with a veteran hat, my dad would always hold the door for them, thank them for their service. Sometimes he'd buy them a drink or he'd buy them dinner or something. So I think, now that I'm getting older and the channel's becoming more successful, I want to do more to help. And veterans always hold a special place in my heart because I never served. But I want to thank you guys for serving, because I'm able to do the things I love because of you. So thank you so much. I am here because you served and did wonderful things for this country. So thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate that. Florida IG, thank you. From a vet for a vet. Well, thank you so much for your service. And if you're a service member, put it in the chat here, share with everyone, let us know if you served, because, I love connecting with our service members. I love connecting with everyone in the group. It was so inspiring to see all of those posts when someone asked about who served. And there were so many posts. I mean, people who had done 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years. We had so many people. It was really cool and really amazing. So thank you guys so much. And, it's only 2:30, so I'm here. Why don't we answer some questions while I'm here? Let's see. So we say struggling to stay focused since finishing the 7-level course. Okay, good. Do you recommend starting the course over or to continue practicing the 3 skills? So this is from Nancy. So Nancy, after the 7-level, depending on how you're feeling, I have some students who do go back and they do the course again. I'm just gonna move this microphone over a little bit more so I can see my chat better. So there's people who do go through the course a second time. I usually recommend, if you're going to do that you start at level 3. Don't go back to level 1 because that's a little bit too basic and beginner, level 1 and level 2. If you go back to level 3. I find where people need the most help is usually with the strumming. That's usually by level 6 or 7, the chords have kind of smoothed themselves and worked themselves out. It's usually the strumming that really trips people up. So if that's the case, I would recommend, if you bought the bundle package or you bought the stage 2 or you're a platinum level member, you have access to the expressive rhythm course, which is the intermediate rhythm course. And it basically goes from the beginning, level 1, level 3, through all of the strumming into more intermediate strumming. So if you feel like strumming is where you're lacking the most, I would recommend going to the intermediate strumming course. This way you can really hone in on that skill. If you feel like your chord changes still aren't up to speed, what I would do is pick 5 or 6 songs that you really like. They don't have to be songs that I've, done on YouTube, but at least you have the lessons. But pick 5 or 6 songs that you really like and play with those until you get them down really good. And then you can always start working on music theory, or, wherever your heart takes you. That's why I have so many of those mini courses, because really guitar has so many avenues. Once you get through the 7 level, there's so many branches of the tree that you can go off to. Some people prefer finger picking. I'm a big finger picker. I love finger picking. I play lead guitar, I play electric guitar, but my love is really the acoustic and finger picking. But I know some people like playing lead guitar and playing scales. So they might want to jump on the lead guitar 101 course and start learning about scales. And if you're a finger picker, you go do the finger picking course. So after the 7 level, go where your heart takes you. But I wouldn't do, because there's like 5 or 6 mini courses now. Don't do all of them at once. Pick one and stick with it. Just like what was goal number 2, I think. Don't learn too much at once. Focus on one thing, get good at one thing, and then move on. Be like, I'm going to go through the finger picking course and I'm going to master Travis picking and I'm going to learn how to play, Landslide and Dust in the Wind and all those cool songs. I don't teach the songs in the course, but I teach you the skills to play the songs. And you go through that and you get good at it. And then you're like, cool, well, now I want to learn about bar chords and power chords. I really want to work on my bar chords. Then go do the bar and power chord course. So that's how the course is structured. And that's why I don't give you a direct approach for what's next, because it's really where your passion lies, because it's the love of the instrument that's going to keep you going and keep you progressing. So if you're not into lead guitar and scales and you don't want to do, you don't want to do that stuff and it's going to bore you, then don't do it. I have lots of students. I never taught them a scale because they didn't want to learn scales. They literally just wanted to sing and strum and do finger picking. And that's what we did because that's what they loved. So why not just keep working on the things you love? So follow your heart. If you're someone who's more into singer-songwriter style, maybe go more for the power chord and the finger picking course. If you're someone who's more into classic rock, CCR, Clapton type stuff, maybe get into the power chord course or the lead guitar course. Those would be my recommendations. Yeah, on that. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. From a vet, for a vet. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your service. I have a 25-year-old travel guitar. I have large hands. I find it hard to clearly hit notes and chords. I feel I might benefit from a larger guitar. Yeah. So Jim, there's some people who have very large hands, okay? And they have big fingers. Some people have thick enough fingers that they can play an E minor chord with just one finger. So sometimes you can use less fingers. I know some people, they can play an A chord. I can't do it. My fingers aren't that big, but they can play an A major chord with just 2 fingers. Sometimes you can just play with one. All right. I like the 3-finger version. But sometimes you have to make adjustments. And there are guitars that every guitar is unique. Okay. And you can even customize some of these guitars too. But every guitar is unique. So there's different widths and thicknesses. So people with larger hands, you may benefit from a guitar that has a slightly thicker fretboard. I'm not really a tech person. I wish I knew more about guitar tech. I probably should start learning to make suggestions on wider neck. I mean, classical guitars always have a wide neck, but their necks are much wider and can be tricky for a beginner to play because they are so wide. But if you have a really large hands, getting a guitar that has a wider neck could definitely be helpful because the spacing between the strings is a little wider too. So if anyone has suggestions, they can throw it over there in the chat for you. Maybe someone has a suggestion. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember Vietnam. Yep. Vietnam vets, USNR 71 to 73, 81 to 97. Thank you so much, Jody. Zager is just a bit wider. Thank you. Thank you, Caesar. I appreciate that. Yeah, Zager is going to be sending me a guitar to demo. Their production line, I mean, they sent 6 over to Brian. They're obviously with the holidays and the New Year's, their production line is a little bit backed up right now. So they gotta fill the orders that they've committed to their paying clients. But they're going to give me a guitar to demo. So I will tell you the how I think about it. Is it easy to play? I'll let you know. But I know Tommy Emmanuel is one of their artists. He plays a few guitars, but I know he's one of their artists that plays the Zager guitar brand. And if you guys know Tommy Emmanuel, he's okay. He's all right. On average, from your students, how long to complete the 7-level guitar course? That is a great question. So on average, it's so tough. So in my private lessons, when I would meet with people a half hour every week privately, the 7 guitar system would probably take us 9 to 12 months. In all honesty, I move people a little bit slower than most teachers. And even there's some books, like I got the Hal Leonard, they have a tab method, and people move from 0 to 60 way too fast. So, I get people, they're like, oh, I've been on level 3 for a week and, what do I do? And I'm like, well, you got to be on that level for a few more weeks. So in reality, I would say the average person, when I worked with them in my studio live, we went through all the materials that are in the 7-level course in 9 to 12 months. Okay. And then we would move on to other stuff. So some people, depending on where you're coming, if you're someone who's been playing for a while, you might get through it in 6 months. Okay. And that's perfectly fine. Maybe like, a month a level. Usually level 1, people work through in like the course of 1 or 2 weeks. The same with level 2, they go through pretty quickly. Then you get to level 3. And I think that's the frustration, because there's a lot of material in level 3, including the strumming, and that gets tricky. So people, they work through level 1, they work through level 2, and they did those in like 1 or 2 weeks. And then they get to level 3, not understanding that they need to stay in level 3 for maybe 2 to 3 months. Okay. That one level, because there's so much to learn. So you stay on it for a couple months to get those chords down, and then you move on. So I would say 9 to 12 months is average, but obviously I have some people who go faster and I have some people who go slower. It really depends. And age plays a big part too, especially if you're someone who has arthritis. I have a lot of students who are older, they have arthritis in their hands. And I just tell them, do the best you can, work through at your pace. There's no race. This isn't a race. This is your guitar journey. And it's your goal to have fun. Have fun with it. That's the bottom line. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, 12 months is what Jack said. So cool. Is the Campfire Songbook, how do you determine the strumming patterns for each song? Yeah, Robert. So Campfire Songbook, I have a lot of songs that I've done on YouTube and I'm actually doing more. I have, just so you guys can see, one of the songs in there. This is Puff the Magic Dragon. I'm going to be recording some songs later today, but that's one of the songs that's in the songbook. So what I would do is go through the songbooks. I feel like I have tutorials for at least 50 to 60% of the songs in that book. What I would do is I would go either on my website, because I have all the strumming patterns on my website, laurenbateman.com. All the strumming patterns are there. And I would just go and write the strumming pattern in the book. That's the only downside of that book. It doesn't have the strumming patterns, but I have lessons for probably 50 to 60% of the songs in there. And I'm going to be doing more. So I'm going to keep knocking that book off. All right. So they're talking about, just so you guys can see, this is the Hal Leonard. It's Campfire Songs Strummed Together. And it's pretty cool because it has chords for ukulele, baritone ukulele, guitar, mandolin, and banjo. So there's a lot of stuff in there. It's written in standard notation, but the chords are on there. I know it's hard to see with the lighting. But if you go, that's what I recommend. Just go check out my lessons or go to the website, laurenbateman.com, and write down the strumming patterns that I put on the website. Because I still have all the songs on there, just don't necessarily always have the chord chart for copyright issues. And to mention again, on the website, laurenbateman.com/giveaway. We're giving away those 5 Zager guitars to veterans in need. If you know a veteran in need that wants to learn to play guitar, I'll be giving away a guitar and one of my courses. You can go nominate, that's the word, nominate someone right over there. Hey Zane, how's it going? I got the white capo on today, but we have the orange capo. Don't worry, orange capo's here. Watch, I'll put orange. Zane always comments when I use the orange capo, so that's how I know. That's how I know who he is. Do more reggae. I did "I Shot the Sheriff" by Eric Clapton. I don't know if you saw that lesson video. You can go search that. There's some pretty cool kind of reggae rhythms in that. So go check that one out. Plus there's a cool little lead line as well. But would you recommend the beginner course for someone who has been taking lessons from another teacher for approximately 1 year? Yes. I have a lot of students who've worked with a teacher or worked with multiple teachers, in fact, and they said that they learned more in the course than they did in 1 or 2 years of working with another teacher. Not to say that's going to happen. It really depends on the teacher. Everyone has a different teaching style. I find a lot of teachers who are university trained, they take the hard route, and not all of them. I have some great teachers at my school who went to Berkeley and stuff, and they're phenomenal. But it really depends on their teaching method. So if you feel like you're not quite understanding what they're teaching, or you feel like they're taking you in a different direction than you want to, they're focusing a lot on music theory, they're focusing a lot on sight reading. I actually don't do sight reading. I know I'll get a lot of flack from people who are classically trained, but I don't do a lot of sight reading. What I do is rhythm reading, because I think reading rhythm is very important, especially if you're going to strum the guitar. I don't teach sight reading. I teach tablature because it's just much easier for people to pick up. And listen, if you're not going to become a session musician, you don't need to sight read music. Not for guitar. Just so you know, I'm bad at sight reading music. I can kind of do it, but that's actually what made me quit piano, was the sight reading of the music. I couldn't do it. I picked up a guitar, I learned chords, and I was like, forget it. I'm not doing piano anymore. And it was just fun and easier for me to understand. So, you can always do that stuff, but I've never taught it to students. I've performed on a stage, I've recorded albums, I'm here, I'm successful at guitar, and I can't sight read music. So not really a requirement to be good at guitar or have fun with it. Yeah, and it is always good to have more than one teacher. When I studied voice, I know you guys are probably questioning because some of my vocals are questionable in some of my lessons, but I did take voice, and I took from 4 different teachers. And you know what? I had some that were better than others, but they all had something valuable to teach me. So I never want to completely knock another guitar teacher, because every teacher has something valuable to teach. You just might be learning from that teacher at the wrong time in your journey. So if you're learning for someone who's really focusing on theory and sight reading, maybe a little later in your journey, they'll be the right teacher for you. But every teacher has something valuable. I sometimes explain things in a completely different way than someone else will explain it, and it makes sense for someone. So we can all have those different aha moments. Thank you so much. Who's on here? Conjuto fan. Thank you so much. Oh, Severo, that's you. Severo is one of our students in support of my fellow veterans. Thank you so much. And Severo does a lot of work with veterans that he does some volunteer work with as well. So thank you so much, Severo, for that. I appreciate that. Your vocals are better than Dylan's. Thanks, Brian. That's awesome. Yes, Jim, so glad to have you. What's the first thing that I learned on guitar? First thing I learned on guitar? See, I made a mistake. Did you guys hear it? See, I'm not perfect. I made a mistake, but that was the first thing I learned on guitar was a Nirvana song. That's the first thing I learned. I did a lot of Blink 182. I tried learning some Melissa Etheridge songs, but I wasn't that good yet. And that's how my journey started. I started playing a little licks and stuff here and there, but that was the first thing I learned on guitar. So great question. Do you think a AD2H HB Martin is a good guitar to work with? I mean, Martin's a good brand. I don't know that model specifically, but Martin does really make some nice guitars. So I would go for it if you're interested. Tears, you want tears in heaven? Please demonstrate changing chords while strumming, and specifically using the strap strums. Matt, fantastic question. I'm gonna, just so for you guys that are in the course and in the private Facebook group, I've been getting so many questions about strumming. I was going to go live and do a whole session for you guys just working through the level 3 strumming. So we'll do that. But a big tip, and I never mentioned this in the course because I would think I was so focused on teaching you guys the rhythm. When you get faster, so if I'm playing a rhythm, let's just say I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and down, 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 up, and I'm going to just do the G, E minor, C, D. Okay, but see how fast I can change my chords when I'm strumming. You may not hear it because my chord changes are so quick and my strumming is very fluid. I'm usually changing the chord on that last up strum. So let me see if I can freeze it. I'm going to play fast through, but I'm going to freeze. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you guys can see that. My fingers are in the air. I'm not touching the guitar, but I did my up strum to go to my E minor chord. I'm not on the E minor chord yet. See, there's the up strum, and I'm on the way to the D chord. Okay, so that is, I got to write an email and put that in the course. I got to do a little addition to the course because that's a very important thing for people to know. Is that the chord is kind of changing on the up strum. I do it so quickly, I'm freeze framing here. You won't notice it. It's a very split second thing. going so quickly and I'm so smooth with my chord changes and the strumming. But that's something to work on. And I tell students, this I do tell you guys in the course, is because everyone's like, oh, this is what happens. We do this. Okay, so some of you, that's probably familiar. Okay, you're probably familiar with that pattern. And what I recommend to do what you're doing with the fretting hand, just don't stop the strumming hand. So if my strumming pattern is 1, 2, 3, and 4, see, even though I'm not fully on the chord, it sounds better than pausing. So Matt, that's what I would do. So focus, if you're working on strumming, focus on the strumming, keep this consistent so that you develop your timing and force the fretting hand to catch up to the strumming hand. So hopefully that was some good tips for you there, Matt. Great question though. Oh, Breedloves are great guitars. I played, I almost bought a 12-string Breedlove because they're beautiful sounding guitars. Definitely like the Breedlove brand as well. How about teaching some walk downs from G to C and C to, okay, so Jim, yeah. So walk down is basic. I do have a video on walk downs. If you search Lauren Bateman bass walk downs or Lauren Bateman walk downs, there should be a video. But what you're doing is you're walking down a scale. So if you're going from G, that's a very common one. G, F sharp, E, so that's 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open string on the top string, or you go up, E, F sharp, G. So usually you would go from a G chord to like a D sharp to an E minor. It's very common. We use it. I'll grab the orange one. It's used in landslide. When we're coming from what do we have? G to the F sharp to the E minor. Now here's another walk down. C to B to A. So walk downs come everywhere. We're just walking down a scale to other notes. Other examples, Heart of Gold. I can't remember the exact chord progression, but it's like. So he goes C, B, A, G. That's also CCR. Have you ever seen the rain? They also do that same walk down. A little bit slower though, but it's the same walk down. C, B, A, G. So that's all you're doing is you're walking down a scale. Those are kind of the most common ones, is going G, F sharp to the open E, or walking up E, F sharp, G, and then C, B, A, G, or G, A, B, C. Gee, what does that sound like? Okay, so lean on me, right? Isn't that what it is? So you just see these walk downs are very commonly used in music. And that's why when I'm teaching guitar, I teach skills, because I think it's important for you to recognize the skill and be like, I know what they're doing there. Like I teach people Travis picking, and then when you hear Travis picking on the radio, you can pick it up like nothing. It has a very, very distinctive sound. And you're like, oh, I know what they're doing. I know Travis picking. I can play that song. So it's a really, really cool thing. Myrtlewood is an amazing tune. I don't think I've ever played Myrtlewood. What age did you get your first guitar? I was 16. It's in the case over there. I don't have it. It was one of those clunker Ibanez's. It's about 20-something years old now. My sister bought it for me as a confirmation gift when I was 16. And believe it or not, my mom told her to not get me the guitar because I wasted the piano lesson. So my mom was like, don't get the guitar. She's not going to do anything with it. And well, we proved mom wrong, didn't we? And we still tease my mom to this day. My sister paid like $80. She bought it off some kid that was at her college at Boston University. And that was my gift. An $80 guitar with a case and a VHS tape and a book. I had a Hal Leonard book. And that's how I got started on the guitar. And it was a clunker. I mean, I I take that guitar out every once in a while, and I'm like, I don't know how I learned to play guitar on this guitar, because it's a tough one to play. But it was a, just an Ibanez beginner. I think it was like a dreadnought, so it was huge, and but I did it. I persevered because I just love the instrument so much. You love me so much. Anthony Jr., shout out to you. Thank you for being here. So excited to have you. I feel like my strum hand is always moving in 16th speed. Is that necessarily bad? No, not at all. I think mine, if I were going to, yeah, I would say mine probably automatically moves in 16th note speed most of the time too. And you'll probably see it in the videos when I do strumming sometimes. My hand, it doesn't always stick to the strumming pattern, I tell you, because my hand is on autopilot. I have so much muscle memory in my strumming hand. And this is something, because people ask me all the time, Lauren, how do you sing and play guitar at the same time? Well, in order to sing and play at the same time, your strumming hand has to be on automatic pilot, okay? You can't sing and play at the same time if your strumming hand's on automatic pilot. I should be able to have a conversation with you. I should be able to do whatever I want. Okay, so my strumming hand just really has a mind of its own at this point. But again, I've been playing guitar for over 20 years, mostly as a rhythm guitar player. So it does do its own thing. So that's not bad. That's a good thing, because it means your hand is instinctively keeping the time. So that's good. I did shout you out, Anthony. I already did. And who else do we have on here? Jeff, like when I improvise over songs. Yep, same thing with improvising too. Explain people small fingers don't exist. Yeah, I mean, if you are someone who does have smaller hands, say you're a shorter stature person, like 5 foot or under 5 feet, you may benefit from like a 3/4 size guitar because the scale is a little bit smaller. But yeah, always good to practice while doing something else. Yeah, I tell people, this is what I tell people to do. And I have a video. I have almost a video on everything now. When you're trying to sing and play at the same time, tell people stand up and walk around. If you can get up, sit down, walk around, do the Rockettes. You can see my socks. I'm not even wearing shoes. Grab some water as I see my water glass over there. See, I'm so real with you guys. I don't think any of these other teachers would be in there, show you that they're wearing their socks. I jump on in the group and I'm wearing like my PJs, and they see my Mario PJs or whatever I'm wearing, and I'm usually drinking coffee. So we have fun. Aerobic guitar with Lauren. Yes, exactly. So hi from Isle of Wight, UK. Hello. Is it Wit or White? Oh, I apologize, Donna. I'm sorry. Can you recommend an amp with the course selection if it did get my donation? Oh, Jim, it probably came in and I might not have seen it because I was talking to the camera, but it'll pop up there. I did see a few Jims come in, so I'm sure you're okay. Recommended amp. So the amp I like, so if you have an electric, I like the Fender Mustang amps. I think they're very great. I do have a Spark amp down here, which I think is pretty good for an acoustic guitar. Or I like my preference for acoustic are their Fishman loud boxes. That's what I like. For course, I would recommend my guitar course, the 7-level guitar system, laurenbatemanguitar.com/course, laurenbatemanguitar.com/course, where we go through, playing absolute beginner to kind of the late beginner, early intermediate stages of playing guitar. And then, of course, after that, I have all my other mini courses that you guys can learn from. Thank you. Oh, REO Speedwagon. Yes, I've had a few requests for REO Speedwagon, Greg. So I'm going to have to get on one of their songs at some point. There's so many great songs. I will never run out of content ideas for you guys because there's so many great songs. And if you hear, that's when my Boston accent really comes out, is when I say idea, because there's an R at the end. I took voice lessons and I trained myself out of a lot of my Boston accent. But when I get excited or if I'm on the phone with my parents, I sound like Tony Soprano. So so it's very interesting. My voice has changed a lot over the years. I've learned how to project. So I got your 7-level lifetime member. Yeah, Jim, that's awesome. Yeah, so we have a platinum member, platinum level, and you get access to the courses, all the courses for as long as you need, and my live Zoom calls and all that fun stuff. Do I ever play around with the ukulele? I've played a ukulele a couple times, but I, I, I mean, I can learn the chords. I haven't had them all memorized, but I've never. I remember I was at the guitar school and we had a ukulele, and I picked it up and I started playing "Come to My Window," and people were like, "We didn't know you played ukulele," and I was like, "This is the first time I've played a ukulele. I just knew some of the chords." So, Brian, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. What are some ways I can get the hang of strumming patterns to different songs quickly? Lori, I would just say learning as many different songs as possible. There's usually, there's some strumming patterns that are very common. For example, that 1, 2, 3, and 4 and very common, or down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I mean, unless it's a song that has a really specific rhythm, like a song like Wonderwall. Wonderwall, you got to play it. It won't sound like the song. It won't sound like Wonderwall if you don't play it that way. So those are ones that, where the rhythm is kind of the riff, but there's a lot of songs that you can use the same strumming patterns for and they'll work perfectly fine. So my recommendation is to learn like half a dozen strumming patterns and just use them in lots of different songs. And if you're looking to push your rhythm more, I do have an intermediate guitar playlist that has some more intermediate songs, like Wonderwall, like Melissa Etheridge, Come to My Window. What's another one I did recently? Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. That's a really great one. That has lots of cool strumming. That's what I recommend. Just keep learning songs and learn as many rhythms as possible. And eventually what's going to happen is the rhythm will become ingrained. I can hear a rhythm and usually play it. I might not know exactly what the rhythm is, whether it's 16ths or 8ths. I would have to sit down and break it down. But usually I would say 95% of the time, if I hear the rhythm, I can just instinctively play it on the guitar. My hand can find it. But again, I've been playing for over 20 years. So I've played lots of songs, done lots of different rhythms and stuff. So rhythm is almost more important than the notes. Yeah, the timing is super important. Have you ever played a mandolin? I have never played a mandolin. I am interested in trying. I had some people who taught mandolin at the school. I'm sure it's not that hard. I mean, once you play one stringed instrument, playing other stringed instruments, as long as it's not a bow, like a violin would be different because there's bowing technique. But I mean, if you play a guitar, you should be able to play a ukulele. You should be able to play a banjo, although I know there's different picking techniques on a banjo, but in a mandolin, you should be able to play that too. It's just learning the shapes of the chords on the different instrument. And Rich, if you have this Campfire songbook, it actually has mandolin chords. So you could just buy a mandolin and learn the chords in the book. So there you go. But the rhythms are the same. I think mandolin uses a lot more 16th note rhythm patterns, like very fast, very fast rhythms. So that's something to do. Yeah, I'm going to fly too, Jack. I've been on here a little over an hour for you guys, but just want to give one last shout out for our guitar giveaway. Thank you to Zager Guitars. We have 5 easy play guitars that we're donating to veterans in need. They'll also be getting a copy of my 7-level guitar system. I'll be mailing out these to anyone in the US that's a veteran, either active or retired. Okay. Someone in need, someone that wants, maybe someone who's like been dying to learn the guitar, but maybe they're disabled and they're on a limited budget. It helped a lot of disabled and wounded vets over the past couple years. So, if you know someone that's been wanting to learn guitar, you think would benefit from learning guitar and having guitar in their life, it is such a wonderful thing to have a part of your life. If you play guitar, you know how much this instrument has enriched your life. It's enriched my life. And the reason we are all here today, the reason there's 208 people and 135 likes on this live here is because of this instrument. It has brought us all together. Music is such a wonderful and amazing thing. And if we can help 5 veterans, if we can help give music to 5 veterans, I would love to do that. Lauren Bateman, laurenbateman.com/giveaway. laurenbateman.com/giveaway. Go to the website, nominate someone. We have 5 guitars we're going to give away. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate seeing you guys here. So nice to go live and see everyone. I've got some songs to record for you guys. I've got some lessons to record, so I got to get back to work. But I wanted to pop on and say hi to everyone and say Happy New Year. And thank you again so much for making my channel such a big success this past year. I can't wait to share more songs with you guys, more lessons, and we have that blues course that's going to be coming out this year too. So can't wait to share that with you guys too. Thank you so much. Thank you to Zager Guitars, and I'll see you guys in a lesson video real soon. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.